Dr. Shyla Mesh here, today to talk about groin tension or a possible strain or pulled inner thigh, groin muscle during sports, athletics, daily activity, sitting on the floor with your kids, whatever that might be. We're going to address just the things today. So often when we have a groin pull or an inner thigh pull or weakness or tension, whatever might be happening in the inner thigh, we have to consider all the muscles that surround that, all the other things that might not be working. So we're going to start with a little bit of a hip flexor strengthening exercise. So taking a band and wrapping it around the feet, or you can certainly do this with no band at all if that's enough challenge. We're just going to focus on a few core muscle groups. So hip flexors and abs being our targets for this one. So you're going to find yourself in a nice stable position, tighten up your glute, soften the knee that you're going to stand on, and engage the abs. We're going to take the foot off the ground and drive the knee straight up till you get to about 90 degrees. And then we're going to lower it down nice and slow. If you need a stability point, have one on either side, a chair, a wall, something that's going to hold you upright so that you're not fighting with your balance and wobbling through the whole strength work. And then eventually work so that you don't need anything to hold on to at all. So again, we're gonna soft knee, tighten the abs, tuck the pelvis, drive the knee upward. Goals of keeping, 4 to 6 inches between the hips and knees. So we don't wanna find ourselves crossing over center to get this done or leaning really far over one way. So tighten up, drive it straight up, and bring it down nice and slow. And then of course, we'll switch sides, doing both so that you find an equal balance from right to left. Again, keep yourself safe, use things for balance if needed. I'm sure we're all familiar with just the good old butterfly stretch. So for this one, we're actually gonna bring yourself up against a wall so that your tush and back are pretty well supported so we don't end up sort of in this crouch down posture. Sitting up nice and tall, bringing the soles of the feet together. For this one, we're gonna take our hands, either backside or inside, it doesn't matter, and you're gonna pull the knees up into the hands. Hold for 5 seconds, and you're just doing about 4 to 5 pounds of force, not extreme. And then you're gonna relax the knees out. You can give them a little bit of an overpressure with the hands. Don't crank down. And then again, 5 seconds. And then let them fall for 5. And up. And fall. Just a nice modification to your regular old butterfly stretch. So now that you have the groin nice and activated, you can take a slider disc or just a basic towel, washcloth, whatever you might have lying around, and more of a slippery floor. So we're just working out into a side lunge. So with this one, you want to stay flat on this foot here. Knees are staying outside the pinky toes, so we don't want any dipping in. And then as you come back to the top, you're really going to think about squeezing the legs together and driving the movement using your adductors or those inner thigh muscles. You only want to come out to the point where you might meet that strain or pain in the groin, and make sure not to overstress or overstretch it. But going backward as if you're reaching back to sit in a chair as the leg is shooting out sideways. Shoot for maybe 10 to 12 on each side. So now we can work to stretch that out a little bit. So you're gonna come down into this nice lunge. We're gonna take the foot, point it toward the ceiling, and then work to floss those tissues free. So you're gonna point the toe, flex the toe, point and flex repetitively. Spending about a minute or so here in this position is perfect. Make sure and do both sides for this one. So to finish off our series here, we're gonna tuck a ball down between the feet. If this is too much, we can certainly bring the ball up between the knees to take a little bit of strain off of that inner thigh. So we're coming so the hips are directly stacked on one another, shoulder is directly over the elbow. You're gonna give the ball a good squeeze, a compression down, and then you're gonna lift yourself up into a side plank. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. Really allow those stabilizers to take effect and do their job. And then lower it down nice and slow. And bring it up. Make sure belly's tight, pulled into the spine. Hips are stacked on top of one another. Again, make sure you do both sides with this one. Shoot for about 10, holding for 5 seconds each on each side. Hopefully all that felt great, and you not only feel like your inner thighs are totally turned on, but hopefully your glutes and your core are feeling really nice and stable also. Of course, if any of these things cause pain or increase symptoms, decrease the range of motion and decrease the reps. Good luck.